I'm Roger Howison. I'm the farmer here at Parkhill Farm in Newborough, Fife, Scotland. The existing forest consists of about 2.5 hectare native woodland with sycamore, beech and Scots pine and larch in it. And then we have little pockets of trees right around the farm. We also have 2 strips of trees up on the hill that my great-grandfather planted in the early 1900s, which are classed as woodland grazing, so the trees are spaced out and there's grass growing in amongst it. So going back to our primary objective, we wanted to link all these pockets of trees up to make one big wildlife corridor, going from the top of the hill, going right down to the river bank. We wanted to plant trees that would help create more shelter belts to provide more shelter for the livestock. So hopefully they can stay out on the fields for a little bit longer, come out onto the fields earlier in the spring. We think the farm looks much nicer with forest and trees on it, so we wanted to plant more trees so it looked more natural, just a nicer place to look at, nicer place to walk through as well eventually. We've planted apple trees so that hopefully one day that will give us another source of revenue, so essentially another cash crop on the farm. With a traditional orchard, they're very compact together and it's a very humid environment, so we read that that's quite prone to disease and fungus. And we're trying to reduce the amount of chemicals that we put on the farm in general, so on all the crops. I don't like to use insecticides or pesticides, and we're trying to reduce the amount of fungicides and herbicides that we use. So having the trees in rows like they are, the wind goes through it, so it's not as humid, so less chance for disease to set in. So we'll take a hit on the yield. We won't get as many apples as we would do if we'd planted a traditional orchard, but that didn't bother us. The overall motivation for reducing the amount of chemicals we put was the driving factor of doing it like this in strips. Without trees, the farm would look slightly bland, slightly unnatural. I probably can say that because I'm here all the time and I get used to what it looks like. Planting the trees, it gives you a much bigger positive outlook on the future, because every year the landscape is going to change in a positive way because the trees are going to get bigger and bigger. So, and that's a great thing to have that feeling all the time.